Hello, boys and girls. On second thought, hello, boys. This is your old Aunt Jane telling you the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Now, once upon a time, there was a cute little girl who lived with her mother in a bungalow on the outskirts of Beverly Hills, California. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said, "Sweetie, Grandmother isn't feeling too well this morning. She had a bad day yesterday at Santa Anita. And anyway, I fixed up some delicacies from the farmer's market, and I'd like you to take them over to Grandmother's house." "All right," said Red, and off she went. Well, she was hurrying along Sunset Boulevard when whom should she meet but the big, bad wolf, who was driving a big, bad Cadillac convertible with big, bad wire wheels. "Said the wolf. "Thank you," said Red. "Say, you're a doll," said the wolf. "Look at you. Look at those lips, that nose. And where did you get those eyes?" "They came with the head," said Red. "Steady now," said the wolf. "You know, you may not believe this, but I was just working on a crossword puzzle. What's a four-letter word for throat?" "Neck," said Red. "Thanks," said the wolf. "Don't mind if I do." "Now, wait a minute," said Red. "If that's what you're interested in, you've got to make reservations." "Oh, hard to get," said the wolf. "Listen, sister, I've got plenty of babes just itching to go out with me." "Well," said Red, "what's holding you up?" "Ah," said the wolf, "who wants to go out with them itchy babes?" "You know something," said Red, "you're very corny. Now run along or I'll tell Jack Webb on you. I'm on my way to my grandmother's house." At that, the wolf disappeared. But as you all know, he hurried over to the motel where Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother was, and he knocked on the door. "Open the door and let me in," he said. "No, not by the hair on my chinny chin chin," said the old lady. "Don't look now, Grandma," said the wolf, "but you're in the wrong story." "Oh, forgive me," said the grandmother. "Who's there?" "That's better," said the wolf. "It is I, Little Red Riding Hood." "All right," said the grandmother, "you may come in." At that, the nasty old wolf leaped into the room, gobbled up the poor old lady, and putting on her nightclothes, leaped into bed just in time to hear Red Riding Hood knock at the door. When Red walked over to the bed, she said, "Oh, Grandmother, what big eyes you have." "Must be my new mascara," said the wolf. "And Grandmother," said Red, "what a long nose you have." "Strange," said the wolf. "I've been wearing my hair piled high in front so people wouldn't notice." "And Grandmother," said Red, "what big teeth you have." "I told Dr. Cowan I needed caps," said the wolf. And at that he jumped out of bed and began chasing poor Little Red Riding Hood around the room. Red Riding Hood ran to the window and screamed for help. And who should be passing to hear her cries but a handsome talent scout. In a moment, the talent scout had chased the nasty wolf away, and Little Red Riding Hood was safe. "Thank you so much," she said gratefully. Said the talent scout. And poor Little Red Riding Hood was right back where she started from. The moral of this story, boys and girls, is let's not fight this thing. It's bigger than both of us. Once upon a time, in the tiny village of Burbank, California, there lived a lovely little extra girl named Cinderella. Now, Cinderella lived with her stepmother and her two stepsisters, Hedda and Luella, who forced her to do all the worst of the household chores, like working the lawn sprinkler, tuning in the TV set, cleaning out the disposal, and checking the dictionary during Scrabble games. Well, one day all the girls received an invitation to a big party to be given at the Macombo, and my, were they excited. The oldest sister rushed right out and got an Italian haircut. "How do I look?" she said to Cinderella when she returned home. "Oh, it's charming," said Cinderella. "You look just like Roberto Rossellini." "Spiteful girl," said Cinderella's stepsister. "For that you shall not go to the party." And sure enough, the night of the affair, poor Cindy was left behind. Well, as she sat in the den weeping, she suddenly heard a knock at the door, and a little old man appeared. "Bless my soul," said Cindy, "it's Mickey Rooney." "Speak not in jest," said the figure. "I can make it possible for you to go to the Macambo tonight." "Oh, yes," said Cindy. "I see your magic wand." "Wand schmand," said the figure. "This is a baton. I lead the band at the club, kid." "But goodness," Cindy went on, "how can I go to the party? I have practically nothing to wear." "Well, under those circumstances," said the little man, "I might be able to work you into the floor show. But seriously, I brought along a dress I borrowed from a friend. Now hurry up and change, and we're on our way." "You're so kind," said Cindy. "Sure, sure," said the man. "But remember one thing. You've got to head for home by midnight, 'cause that dress has to be back in Sack's window in the morning." "But wait," said Cindy, "isn't there something you want to say about a pumpkin and 6 white mice?" "Don't be silly," said the man. "That stuff only happens in fairy tales." So off they went to the party. When they arrived, Cindy was met by a tall, handsome stranger in a uniform. "Oh, I knew I'd find you here," said Cindy breathlessly. "You may have the first dance." "Ixnay," said the stranger. "I'm the doorman." Inside, Cindy had better luck. Everyone was there. Clark, Tyrone, Gregory, Errol, Gus. Gus? Oh, yes, Gus was the doorman's name. It was such a nice party, he decided to come in and dance with Cindy after all. He held Cindy close and whispered in her ear. "You look familiar," he said. "Haven't I seen you in pictures?" "Yes," she said. "In Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, I played the part of the brunette." "Cindy," said Gus, "I love you." "Aren't you rushing things a bit?" asked Cindy. "Have to," said Gus. "We're getting near the end of the record." Well, Cindy danced in Gus's arms for hours and hours, and then suddenly, noting the time, she excused herself and hurried out to the parking lot. Hurried so fast, in fact, that she lost one slipper. Outside, Gus found her sitting on the running board of Darrell Zanuck's town car. "Cindy, I found your shoe," he said, taking hold of her bare foot. "Isn't there something you want to say to me?" "Yes," said Cindy. "I'm ticklish. And there's something else you should know. I'm not a movie star. I'm just a little extra girl." "Breeze, there a man who couldn't use an extra girl now and then? Whatever you are, baby, you're for me." At that, kiddies, he took her in his arms, kissed her fondly, and they started living happily ever after right away.